Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. What is up, you guys? I know it has been a while, okay? Like, I know I haven't uploaded a vlog in like maybe like 3 weeks to a month. I know it's been a while, but nonetheless, I mean, I'm sure you guys all know what's going on in the world. It's no need for me to tell y'all, you know what I'm saying? Y'all know, or to even talk about it. But just know that that was like a big reason why I haven't been. It's just been a lot of like life changes going on due to what's going on in the world, a lot of adjustments and a lot of, you know, things that I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are also going through as well. So just know that I'm praying for you guys. You know, if anyone's been affected by it, suffering, all that, your family members, someone you know, of course, like, I'm praying for you guys. So yeah, that's just been what's going on with me. It's definitely not worth me doing a whole video on it because, again, I'm pretty sure the adjustments and changes that I'm going through, you guys are going through as well. So let's not do that, but we are going to get into another story time. So I've noticed that like every time I post a story time, like, I really love my story times. Like, I know y'all love my vlogs, but like the story times, like, I feel like y'all really be like, can relate. It's relatable. It's relatable. So as you guys can tell by the title of this story time, this is gonna be my worst date ever, okay? And again, like I've mentioned in a lot of like story times, like I don't do like story times of things that have been like recent, like time has passed. So this is not recent. I mean, well, obviously y'all know it's not recent because I can't go on a date right now anyway, but yeah, this is like not recent. I'm not gonna talk about the years, you know what I'm saying, calculating things, but yeah, we just gonna get right into this video. So you guys, basically this like story time or whatever, this basically took place during a time where I was an adult. I was of age, of course. I was like, you know, I was an adult. I was definitely in my 20s. And this is when I believe I had there was a period of time in my life where, like, when I broke up with my boyfriend, who I also did a story time on, my first boyfriend like ever, when we broke up when I was like 20, I believe. But I dated him basically from the time I was 18, you know, able to date all the way up until 20, but not able to date, but you know, like of age to be like in a real relationship. So yeah, it was a period of time where, like, when I broke up with him, I basically was like dating like a lot of people. And again, y'all, dating does not mean effing a lot of people, okay? Let's just be clear, okay? Stingy with the box, okay? Like, you know what I'm saying? Dating a lot of people because, you know, by the time like when I had met my ex, like I just had turned 18, so I was still super young and I was with him all the way up until I was 20. So during that time, like, I wasn't talking or dating nobody. So, you know, when we broke up, I was like, all right, like I'm gonna see what's out there, because, you know, in high school I had like one guy who, you know what I'm saying, I would talk to and date or whatever, but we was never like officially together. So in high school I really didn't have like a lot of boyfriends or anything like that. That was my first boyfriend. So once we broke up, I had really didn't have experience on dating anyone other than him, is what I'm saying. So anyways, I had just got a job at this place. I don't like to say a lot of things because y'all, like I just don't, but I got a really good job at the time. It was a really good job. It was an upgrade, obviously, from the previous job that I had. So it was a really good job. And but I ended up hating it. But at the time, it was a really good job for me. And so this guy, we're gonna call him Lewis. So basically, Lewis had been following me on Instagram for a while. He would always like my pictures. He would always comment on my pictures. I think, was this when you can DM people? Y'all, if any of like my younger generation is watching, I am old, okay? I'm 25, and back in the day you couldn't DM. Like all these new features with like DMing and stuff on Instagram, like that wasn't a thing. Or maybe you could DM, I don't know, but it was harder to personally interact with people. Like you had to comment on a picture like from 37 weeks ago, a number, and then talk to them. So basically he would like my pictures, comment, whatever. So I seen him and I thought like he was okay, like he was decent looking. He wasn't like my type, but he was decent looking, he was cute. And so but the reason why I didn't want to talk to him is because I would see him like doing the same thing on like other girls' pictures. But so here's the thing, y'all. In LA, and I'm pretty sure it's like this in many other states, whatever, but actually everywhere, you know, when it comes to like BBWs, like, you know what I'm saying, a lot of guys frequent the same pages of girls. Like they're always like, if they're in my inbox, they in my homegirl inbox, my homegirl, like, and the thing is, a lot of them don't think, I don't know if they don't care, if they don't know, but like we all know each other. Like, I mean, it's just facts. If you guys follow me on Instagram, which my Instagram is now private, but when it was, you know, public, I'm sure you guys would see me interacting and, you know what I'm saying, friends with a lot of other influencers who are BBWs. Like, it's just inevitable, like, you know. So I would see him doing a lot of that, like, you know, liking pictures, comments on pictures, whatever. But I was like, okay, like, you know, nobody's really like claiming him like, oh, that's my man, and they're not commenting nothing back. So I'm like, maybe he's just thirsty, I don't know. But either way, I didn't like it, because I'm just like, if you're my man, like, I'm stingy, I don't like that. So I just didn't want to talk to him. I didn't respond back. I didn't really pay him any mind. So some time had went on, and I had been working at this job or whatever, and nobody knew where I worked. I never posted where I worked. Even to this day, I still haven't even told y'all where this job was. And it was in a location where it wasn't too far from my house, but it was in the neighborhood that I grew up in. And the neighborhood that I grew up in is not, I don't know how to explain it, but like, it's just a lot of, I wouldn't know. It's just not like, it's a popular neighborhood for a certain demographic of people, if that makes sense. But anyways, so one day I was at work, and I just happened to be like in the lobby area of where I worked at, filing like some paperwork or doing something or whatever. So I noticed this guy walk in, and it's him, it's Lewis. So I'm like, what the heck? Why is Lewis in here? So I play like I didn't know him, because we've never like, you know, talked. But again, like, I knew he was commenting on my pictures, liking my pictures, whatever. So he came in or whatever, and he was just staring at me, and I'm just looking like, hi, can I help you? Like, do you need assistance? What are you here for? Do you talk to somebody? Do you need whatever, you know? So of course he starts to like flirt with me or whatever. And so I'm like, oh, okay. He's like, you don't know who I am? And I'm like, no, I don't know who you are.
Cap.
And he was like, it's me, Lewis, like Lewis from Instagram. And I was like, oh, okay, hey, Lewis. And so I was like, what do you need? Like, again, I'm on the clock. This is a new job. Like, I don't need them to think I'm a professional. I'm super young, and there's a lot of other people who work in my job who are older. So, you know, I always felt like I had a point to prove. And that's the thing, like, with a lot of jobs that I get, I'm usually the youngest person. So I always feel like they don't take me serious. So I always have to make myself, like, be professional, you know? So I was keeping it real professional. He was just like, so what time do you get off? And I was like, why? Like, you know. And so then he was like, I just want to know. So I was like, let me just tell this boy, you know, a time that I get off or whatever, so he could just go, because I don't want my manager to come out and see me interacting with someone and not like helping them. Obviously they don't need help, because if he needed help, he would have went on about his day. So I was like, oh, I get off at 7 o'clock. So at this time, y'all, it was 11 a.m. So I was like, yeah, I get off at 7 o'clock. And so I think I really got off at like 5, but I told him 7 because like I didn't want to see him. So I was like, let me just tell him a time or whatever, because I'm like, maybe he's gonna call, whatever. He was like, well, okay, like 7 o'clock. And I was like, yeah, like 7 o'clock, whatever. So I went on about my day at work, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm new, so I'm more focused on the job, getting the job done. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of figuring out how to basically, it was a really good job that like I didn't think that I was gonna get. So when I got the job, I was just super like into it, trying to figure out, you know, how to be the best person I could be. Look at me trying to be a great employee. So 5 o'clock hits, and you know, again, I'm not even thinking about this man or nothing. I haven't checked my phone, nothing. So I'm like, okay, let me just go on home or whatever, you know, it's the end of the day, blah, 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 blah. So I walk outside, y'all, and this man is in the parking lot. Mind you, he came into my job at like 11 a.m. I told him I was off at 7. I was really off at 5, but he was in the parking lot. And I was like, huh? I'm like, were you just waiting out here this whole time for me? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, why? And he was like, because you told me you got off at 7. He was like, it's 5 o'clock now. Like, did you get off early? Do I still have to wait? And I was like, but why are you here? Like, I was just so confused. He was like, well, to be honest with you, Candice, you know, I've been trying to talk to you for a while. I've been DMing you. I've been commenting on your picture. I've been trying to make myself known. You've been curving me. You've been ignoring me. So I just figured this is my best shot. And I was like, okay, so what's up? Because at this point I was getting irritated and I was like a little creeped out. So I'm like, what do you want? Like, you know? And so then he was just like, you know, I want to take you on a date. And I was like, oh, okay, like, cool. Like, you know, I'll text you, you know, give me a number, whatever. He was like, no, I'm going to take you on a date right now because I know you're not going to text me. And I said right now, like, I just got off of work. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a weeknight, a school night, you know. And so he was like, no, like, I want to take you out tonight. He was like, we can go to the movies, go out to eat, whatever you want to do. So I was like, okay, like, fine. If you want to go and, you know what I'm saying, spend that bag, I don't care, whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I have to go home, get dressed, shower, I'm not just about to just go like in my blazer and like my suit, you know. And so he was like, all right, that's cool. And I was like, but I hope you don't think you finna pull up at my house and wait. Like, you can go. If I'm agreeing to go on a date with you, you know where I work. Like, at this point, we're just gonna go. So he's like, all right, cool, you know. So I think he didn't live in that area. He lived kind of far, which to this day I don't even know why he was in that area, because he didn't live in that area. It was just really weird. At the time, I believe I was living with, I don't think I was living on my own at this time. I think I was still living with my grandparents. So I went to my grandma's house, whatever, aka my home, her home, whatever. And I was like getting dressed, and you know, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just go hang out with this guy, like whatever. So he texted me and was like, you know, are you ready? Because I'm gonna be on my way. And I was like, all right, cool, but you know, I'll tell you where I want to meet. And he was like, you don't want to give me your address? And I was like, no, like, I'm not giving you my address. Like, I don't even know you. You walked in my job by chance, not because I gave it to you. So don't think that, you know what I'm saying, I'm finna just give you my home address. So I think I gave him like the address that was on my street, but a couple blocks over. Say the name of the street is like Dunsmuir, and I live at 1411 Dunsmuir. I gave him like 1611 Dunsmuir, so I didn't have to like drive my car super far. I was still in the neighborhood, but he didn't know where my house was. So anywho, I give him like a random address or whatever, and he comes and he picks me up. So y'all, I get in his car, and you know, he had a decent car, you know what I'm saying. It was a decent car. It looked like he really, you know what I'm saying, kept it up. You know, it had like the typical guy stuff, a hairbrush, the little black ice thing dangling, you know, the built-in radio that they get put in to make it louder, the speakers in the back, you know, typical guy car. So I'm in the car with him, and you know, I'm just being quiet because I'm just trying to fill it out, like, what are your intentions, like, what's going on? So anywho, we end up going to this place in Culver City. And if you're from LA, see, I'm not gonna say all that, but anyways, it was in Culver City, and we went to a movie theater. I don't know if that's considered Culver City, but we went to a movie theater out there, whatever, and it was some movie that was very popular that I had never seen. I mean, not obviously I didn't see it before, but it was like a movie that was like very popular and a lot of people were gonna go see it, but I wasn't. It was like an action movie, and I really wasn't into those type of movies, but he was just like, we should go see this, and I was like, all right, cool. So boom, we get to the movies, and he stops at like the concession stand or whatever, and he's like, do you want anything? And so in my mind, I'm thinking, he said that he was going to do dinner, whatever. So I'm just like, I'm not trying to like, you know, run your pockets up with concession stand food, because y'all know that could be expensive. So I'm like, if we're going out to eat, this is in my mind, I'm like, if we're going out to eat after, like, I'm not about to make this man buy me like a $7 soda. Like, I'm not like that, y'all. Like, I know some women will really like run it up, but like, I'm not like that. Like, if you told me that you were going to take me out to dinner and to the movie, I'm gonna hold you to exactly what you said you were going to do, but I'm not about to test your pockets. Like, we're all young, we're all working, we're all trying to make a way. So I'm not like that. So I'm like, whatever, like, nah, I'm good, you know. So he buys the tickets or whatever, and we're sitting in the movie, and girl, of course, we're sitting in a movie, and of course he tries to like touch me. I don't like that. I would say typical guy things, because now that I'm older and I'm dealing with more mature men, that's like not common or typical amongst like mature men. So when you upgrade, ladies, in your life, you will know that like that behavior is just not of a mature man. But again, it was in my early 20s. So he started trying to touch me or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm not trying to do all that. Like, I just met you, like, you know, watch the movie, don't watch me.
Boy, if you don't get.
And so he kind of like got the point, and that was really irritating me, because I'm just like, you just met me today. Like, you're even lucky I gave you the chance to take me out, and like, this is what you do? Like, what? Like, this is what you do? Like, okay. So I'm getting irritated, because I'm like, I'm tired. Like, you know, I've been at work all day, and like, you dragged me to this movie theater, seeing a movie I don't even want to see, but I agreed to see it because, you know, you suggested it, and then you try to touch me. So I'm just like, whatever. So that was strike number one for me, because I'm just like, I don't, you know. So fast forward, we watched the movie, and the movie, I guess, was cool. I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't on my phone or nothing, because I'm not rude, but I don't remember the name of the movie, y'all. I probably fell asleep. I had been at work all day, so like, it wasn't nothing that was just like imprinted on my mind. We're sitting there, and so, you know, at the end of the movies, the credits are coming up, and basically the lights are now like coming on, and then like people are leaving, so we just sitting there. And so I'm just like, hey, like, you know, let's go. Like, why are we just sitting here? And he was like, oh no, he was like, I was just trying to see, you know. I'm like, the credits? Like, you're not trying to see the credits, whatever. Entertain it, because I'm just like, okay, he wants to see the credits. So we're sitting there, and everybody kind of like leaves, and so finally he like gets up, and he's like, oh, okay, hold on, like, you know, I gotta stop at the customer service desk. And I'm like, all right, cool, like, you know, but I'm not really paying attention, because I'm tired, I'm ready to go home, like, I'm sleepy. I'm like, okay. So he goes to the customer service desk, and he's just like, I'm so upset. The lady at not the concession stand, but at the customer service desk looked just as confused as I did, because we walked up, I'm not knowing what's finna happen, what he finna say, and I'm just so upset. And I'm looking like, and she looking like, and I'm like, I don't know why this man is upset. And so she's like, sir, like, why are you upset? Like, what's going on? And he was just like, you know, there was a lady in the back. She was screaming and hollering. Everything was just so just exciting her. And I don't know, she's just never been to a theater, but it was just too much. He was like, the volume on the movie was just going in and out. It was just so unprofessional. I've never seen a movie like this at this establishment. I don't know what it was. He was like, people were just being loud and rude. So I'm looking like, no, this man did not. Mind you, the lady, she goes, oh, okay, you know, I understand, sir. She's like, that's odd, because, you know, all these people just walked out this theater and nobody complained. I'm like, what is going on? Because at this point, y'all, I still don't know what he's trying to do. And so she's like, I'm sorry, sir. You know, it's like, you know, I don't know, she said, is there anything I could do for you or what? And he was like, you know, I just feel like I need a refund. Again, I didn't know any of this was taking place, so of course it looks a little odd if one person is super upset and the other person is like, so he's like, I need a refund. And so she's like, okay, well, let me just talk to my manager. I'm pretty sure we could do that for you, but let me just talk to my manager. So she walks away, and I'm looking at him like, You was the same one in the movie, wanting to watch the credits. This is a movie you wanted to see. It was just so good, and all of a sudden people wasn't nobody talking in that theater, y'all, okay? It wasn't being loud. Like, it was perfectly fine, you guys. Like, it was fine. Although I was not watching the movie, I would have noticed things like that. Nobody was getting up talking. Nobody was being loud. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was a newer movie, so of course people were like, you know, excited to see it, but it wasn't that much of a distraction or a disruption that he made it seem like. So then I'm like, oh, okay, I see what you're trying to do. So the guy comes back and he gives him back his money. And so I'm like, so you come to my job, you wait at my job, you beg to take me on a date, you come pick me up, we go on a date, and then you get a refund for the date. So you're a real finesser for sure, you know what I'm saying? But like, how do you think I'm gonna feel? Like, you basically, like, what's up? Like, because okay, here's my thing, y'all. If you couldn't afford the date, don't ask me to go. If you wanted to take me on a date, you could afford it, but just not right then and there. Wait until payday, wait until Friday, because I don't want to go that date anyway. But you were just so gun-ho to take me on a date because you were scared I wasn't going to respond back to you, that you went on a date where your funds weren't right. And now it's looking a little embarrassing, because who does that? Like, the tickets were literally like not that expensive, and I didn't even bust your pockets for the concession stand. So I'm just thinking, like, if I would have asked you to buy me a drink or some popcorn, how would that have went? Were you gonna find a bug? Okay, so anyways, so basically we leave and I'm super quiet because I'm just irritated. I'm like, this is not even fun for me. This wasn't beneficial. This wasn't fun. I didn't have a good time. Like, you know, you're just showing me what type of person you are, and at this point, like, I'm over it. So we're driving, and in the car, he literally starts to try to touch me again. And I'm just like, brother, man, like, if you wasn't getting the before, you for sure ain't getting it now. Like, that is just, I can't. So we're in the car, and I'm just like, you know, stop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. Like, you know, it's in my mind, I'm just like, man, like, it's really over for you. Like, you really, you know. So we get back to where I parked my car at. Mind you, I did not have him take me to where my actual house was. And so when we get out the car, I like was like, all right, you know, thanks for the, you know, whatever. So he literally puts his hand on the door, and it's like, I'm right here, and this is him and this is me, and he's just like, so, you know, what's up with me and you? And I'm like, what? Like, you have bigger fish to fry. Like, you need to worry about what's going on in that account versus what's going on with me, because I don't understand why you would even take me on a date if you couldn't, you know. So I'm like, you know, I think you're a cool guy. I was like, but, you know, I just don't see this being anything more than what it is. Like, we can be friends, but, like, you know, I'm not even looking to do all that. I'm good, you know. Basically nicely curving him in person. What I've been doing for weeks on the gram, now I'm doing this in person, just to really, like, let you know, like, you know, because again, y'all, like, when he asked, like, when he was persistent with trying to get me to go on a date with him, you know what I'm saying, waiting outside my job, taking me, picking me up, that was cute and that was inviting. Okay, like, my shoe wasn't in the door, but the door was open, you know what I'm saying, because I'm just like, okay, let's see, you know, let me not judge a book by its cover. But after that move, I just feel like, you know, and it has nothing to do with money, you guys. Like, it's not like I'm just this, you know, like I'm a gold digger or something like that, but it's just like, you know, why do all of that? Like, you know, or why suggest a date that you couldn't pay for? Now, I could see if I was just this high maintenance, oh, you have to take me to Roof Chris, and you have to take me to dinner and a movie, and da-da-da-da-da. Like, I didn't suggest this. You told me that you wanted to do this. Like, you know, you could have made a date or suggested a date that was more within your, you know, tax bracket, and then I could have told you if that was something I wanted to do, but no, you didn't. So I'm not talking to you. And so he just kept on like, what's up with me, you did it. So I'm like, you know, trying to get away from him, and I'm like, you know, trying to like get from under him, because he's like right in front of me and I'm like right here. So finally, like, he lets up or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, like, you know, but get home safe, you know what I'm saying, whatever. That was that. So A couple weeks later, I don't know if I think I unfollowed him or something like that, and I don't know if he unfollowed me, but that was it. So a couple weeks later, I am on the internet, on Instagram, and I'm just scrolling. So my friend, well, she's not my friend, she's somebody who I know from the internet, and she happens to be, you know what I'm saying, a BBW. So, and she's like not from my area, but she's like, you know, local enough, right? So she uploaded this picture, whatever, and I thought it was like super cute, and it looked like you know when people upload pictures and you could tell that they've uploaded more of that same picture. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but you could just kind of like tell like, oh, it's more to come, or it was more before that, whatever. So I went on her Instagram to see like the rest of the pictures because it was cute. So I double tagged on to whatever, and I looked, and I seen that her bio said it was like a heart. It was like a heart sign, and then like a king sign, and then it said like Lewis, right? And y'all, here's the thing. The man's name is obviously not Lewis. His name is very distinct. Like, his name is like, I've never met nobody with this name, and I probably won't ever meet someone with this name. Like, it was a very unique name. So if it was Lewis, like if that was really his name, then maybe I wouldn't have been like, you know what I'm saying? But because his name is so distinct, like, let's say this man's name was like Mirror, right? Like, do you know anybody named Mirror? No. Do I know anybody? No, right? So if you meet somebody named Mirror who you would always see liking the same picture, you know, so obviously I'm connected to Knots, and I'm like, wait, Lewis? I'm like, Lewis? Okay. So she basically put like all this stuff in her bio, like, you know, me and Lewis, and I think she had like their date, like, you know how you have like the like if y'all got together August 6, 2019, she had like the, you know, the date in her bio. So the date that she had was obvious. It was before, like, basically our date was during the time that they were in a relationship. Let's just say that. So I'm like, okay, I could do one or two things here. I could, you know, mind my business, go on about my day, because, you know what I'm saying, you know, she's not my, but I'm like, nah, I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me, you know what I'm saying, because I don't think she's ever had his name in her bio, but obviously I hadn't been on her page, so he's been there. I don't know. So I hit her up, and first I asked my best friend, I was like, Jania, do you think I should tell this girl or no? Like, is that messy? Is that, you know? But again, like, me and this girl are not friends, but we're like internet friends, and y'all know what I mean. Like, girls who you've never really met in person. They may live in a different state, they may even live in your same city, but you know, you guys have something in common. You pretty, I'm pretty, I'm like your picture, you comment, I comment, whatever. So, and we was already friends on, like, I think we were friends on like Facebook before. Like, we had been social media friends, you know what I'm saying? It's not like somebody I just randomly found on the explore page. So my best friend was like, yeah, like, you need to tell her, like, your man is not, you know, who he is, you know, because obviously I didn't know, because if I would have known, I would have never went on a date with him. I would have dragged him. Like, boy, are you serious? So anywho, I ended up DMing her, and I was like, hey girl, you know, I don't want to sound messy or come off messy or anything like that. I was like, but I just want to let you know, like, you know, I know the person in your bio is like a person that, you know, I've recently gone on a date with, right? And I said it just as like secure as that, like, as that, because again, this man's name was so like distinctive. And then I looked at her followers, he followed her, like they followed each other. So I'm like, this is him, like there's no way. So I didn't even say, like, girl, in your bio, are you talking about so and so? Like, I was like, girl, I went on a date with him, right? So I told her, and I DM'd her, and I told her, I was like, hey, just letting you know, this is a person who I recently went on a date with, and I just wanted to, you know, let you know. So she was like, what's your number? So the energy from her was a mix of energy, and I just do not like this type of, you come in, I can edit it out. Hey y'all. Basically, she is like, she calls me, and it was like a mix of energy. It was like a mix, like, it wasn't that of like someone who was completely like, oh my god, thank you so much for telling me. But then again, it wasn't that of like a girl, you was with my man. But it was a mix. But I feel like I should have never gotten none of this energy. Like, girl, I'm coming to you as a woman. But not like that. But I'm just letting you know, we went on a date before. Obviously, I didn't know that that was your man, because I wouldn't went on a date. But I'm just letting you know because I see it in your bio. So the first thing she asked me was, well, how did you know that was my man? And I said, because it's in your bio. She was like, oh, okay. Anywho, so basically I told her, I was like, yeah, I seen it in your bio, and I just put two and two together. So she's asking me the questions or whatever, and you know, it's questions that I know that a woman would ask. Like, if a woman came to me about my man, like, I would ask these same questions. I'm sorry, y'all, this is gonna turn into a mukbang because my best friend, she just cooked and brought me a little sample. Yeah, so it's both energy or whatever. So I was like, yeah, she was asking me questions that I would ask somebody who came to me. Like, so I was like mentally prepared for that. So that's another thing, ladies. If you're ever in a situation like that, like me, be prepared to answer some questions. Like, don't bring the information to a woman and just give it to her and then just be like, okay, do what you do. Like, you know, she gonna ask you questions, you know what I'm saying? So I was prepared. I'm like, I'm gonna tell her everything because that's not my man, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm team women. Like, I'm for women who, you know what I'm saying, who are good women, who are trying to, you know, be in relationships with good men. And if they're not a good man, sis, I'm gonna let you know, whatever. Because I would want somebody to tell me about my man, especially if I got him all over the internet with his name in my bio. Like, let me know. Y'all know I've been through that before. If you watch my old story times, I've been like in that situation before where another woman has tried to come to me, you know what I'm saying? So I've been in that situation before, so you know, I know how I go. So she was just like, oh yeah, she's like, I can't stand him. She was like, he always doing that, he's always been like this. And she was like, I'm just so sick of him, and da 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 da. I took him to meet my dad, and blase blase blase. And so I'm just on the phone like, yeah girl, you know, I feel bad, you know what I'm saying, but you know, I just want to let you know, da da. Basically trying to wrap the phone call, because I'm like, okay, I told you what you need to know. Any consoling, like, I'm not the appropriate person. Like, I can't console you about this man who I literally just went on a date with. Like, I can't do that, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right girl, you know, it's gonna get better, you know. Basically, we get off the phone or whatever, and I could tell she had me on speaker, and I could tell, like, either it was somebody in the house with her that could hear, or I was on three-way, whatever. I could tell, but I wasn't tripping because I'm like, that's girl shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Jania. Jania, this is good. Thank you, boo. So anyways, we hang up the phone. I tell my best friend. That's that. I didn't think it was gonna be nothing else. So long story short, he didn't hit me up. He never hit me up. He never tried to check me or nothing. In fact, months later, he tried to you know, hit me up on some, I want to take you out, da, da, da. But he never checked me about telling her. You know, he never tried to, you know how men are, like, they'll, oh, woo, woo, woo. It wasn't even nothing like that while you telling her. Like, he didn't try to clear nothing up, okay? Like, I did not hear from him on that tip. But, like, months later, he still tried to, like, slide in my DMs. And finally, I had to block him on all social media. I had to block his number. He never came back up to my job, thank God. But still, I noticed that, like, you know, the girl, she low-key was, like, putting certain things, like, in her, and to this day, I don't know for sure if it was about me, but, you know, connecting the dots, she would put like little subliminals and stuff like that negatively towards me, and I just didn't understand why, because I'm like, I'm telling you about him, and I didn't come to you rude or checking you or trying to be anything but like a pleasant girl to you to let you know about your man. So that's what happened, you guys. And me and a girl, we still have followed each other on social media for a while after that. And then I don't know, sometimes she will like delete her page, or make new ones. I don't know. Right now I don't think we follow each other, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, I could tell that like I could feel like she was mad at me for, I don't know for what reason, I don't know. Like, I could tell she kind of held a grudge towards me, you know, because if it was me in that position and I came to me how I came to her, I would have continuously, like, you know, reassured her, like, thank you for telling me, you know what I'm saying? Unless I found out otherwise, unless I knew that you knew about us and you was on some slick shit. But right then and there, you're presenting me with information I didn't know about that's benefiting me. So of course I'm going to be thankful to you. But I didn't get that energy from sis. Sis gave me energy of, also, you want him type energy. And I'm like, girl,
Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, 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 no.
you shouldn't even want him. But that's another story. But anywho, that's what happened on my worst my worst day ever, you guys. It was like, it was crazy. It was just crazy. I had never been on nothing like that before. Again, luckily, ladies, when you get older, you glow up a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You mature a little bit, you start dating a different caliber of men. So luckily, I've never had to go through anything like that. As far as dating, you know, I have been on some weird dates before, but nothing like that. Like, nothing on, you know, a finance tip. Like, you know, usually when guys say they're gonna take you out, like, they'll take you out because they know they can afford it. And what they can afford is what they'll agree to take you out to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they say they're gonna take you to the steakhouse, they gonna have steakhouse money. You know what I'm saying? But if that baby say, let's go to Golden Corral, you know what type of time he on. And it's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because I was with my ex for years and he didn't have no money. Not like that, y'all. My first boyfriend, he didn't have no money. He didn't have no money. I had more money than him, and I was younger than him, and I had just turned 18. Like, he didn't have no money, and I was with him and I was holding it down. I was holding it down, okay? But my ex didn't have no money. He didn't have no money, honey. He really didn't have an income. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't on nothing. But it's nothing wrong with that when you really love someone. Okay, let me wrap this up. So that was my worst date night ever. Okay, comment down below if y'all have been through a situation like that, or a date time like that, or have heard of something like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a little chit chat in the comments, because I was a little bit like, should I post this video, should I not? But I know I'm not the only woman who's been through something like this. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys for another video. Bye.